Okay, this video should get you going with setting up your stock and adding your toolpaths and posting to the Shopbot. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is, if you're already in the design mode right here, you're going to flip to manufacture. Once you're in manufacture, you're going to want to make sure that your design units are in inches. And if they're not, you're going to want to flip them to inches. Make sure you're not in millimeters. Make sure you're in inches. Then you're going to want to do a setup. So you're going to click on this little folder button right here. Now, once you're in the setup, you're going to want to make sure that the Z-axis is pointing up and away from any geometry that you're doing. So mine is wrong. Most of yours should be correct if you use my template. So I purposely did this just in case your Z-axis is not pointing up, and also your X-axis should be pointing to the right. So I'm going to fix this just in case some of you may have one that looks like mine where the axes are not in the correct orientation. So if this looks like yours, this is how you would fix it. First, go to the Setup menu, that's this tab right here, and under Orientation, pick the first option that says Select Z-axis, Plane, and X-axis. And where it says Z-axis and edge, you're going to make sure that's highlighted, and you're going to pick an edge that goes upwards, meaning in the direction that goes up towards the direction that the geometry goes. So for me, any of these up edges will work. And watch what happens to my Z-axis when I click an up edge. See? The Z-axis now is going in this direction, but it's still pointing down, and I want it to point up. So I'm going to click on this little flip Z-axis. Now it's pointing up, and my X-axis is pointing to the right, which is correct. If it was not correct, I would flip it by clicking this arrow with the flip. So everybody should have a coordinate system that looks like mine, where the Z is pointing up, the X is pointing to the right, and the Y is pointing kind of away in the same fashion that you see it, just like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to click on this box point, and you're going to click the very top corner that I'm clicking on right here. This is where your 0 should be. Now you're going to go to Stock, and you're going to change the mode to Fixed Box Size. Change your round up to nearest to 0. Now make sure your model height in the Z says 0.75, and if it doesn't, call your teacher over and figure out what went wrong. Check your model width and depth, and write these numbers down, because this is going to be important for when you save your file. Mine is 10 by 8 in the X and Y. I'm going to click OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my toolpaths. So I'm going to right click on Setup, and I'm going to Create from Template. Now you maybe don't have a template in yet, so I'm going to click Select Template. That's going to open up my Fusion Local, so click on Local. I have a bunch of templates. If you don't have any in here, right click on the word, actually right click in the white area right here and import, and your teacher will have sent your toolpaths to somewhere on your computer. Open them, and it should be called EE Sign Template. Select that. You'll see two templates. You're going to double click on Simple Pocket. Once you double click on Simple Pocket, make one click with your left mouse button on the very perimeter of your part. So for me, it's going to be this perimeter right here. I picked the bottom edge. Make sure it fully surrounds your part, and then click OK. Give it a second. You'll see all your toolpaths. And then do the same thing for the next one. Double click on it, pick the perimeter, and click OK. Now, if you hold Shift on your keyboard and you click both of these toolpaths, so they're both highlighted, and you right click on them, you'll be able to simulate. You'll see I clicked the word simulate. you can turn on your stock and turn off your toolpaths, and now you can simulate and watch by sliding the speed faster or slower, and you'll be able to see what cuts. If you're happy with this, exit the simulation. If you're not happy with it, go back to the design mode and make changes. If we're ready to cut, make sure that both of these are highlighted, meaning that hold your shift key and make sure that both operations are highlighted and right click. Select post process. Where it says post up here, click the open folder and go to local and pick the Shopbot tools. If that's not there, right click and import from the folder that your teacher sent you on your desktop or in your land school folder, pick the Shopbot. Open it. Select it. For your name, for the program name, I'm going to put my last name. And then because my part was 10 by 8 in the X and Y, I'm going to put X10, Y8, just so I know how big it's going to be on the Shopbot. And then I'm going to plug a flash drive in. And then I'm going to open, and I'm going to look for that flash drive. Now, right now I don't have one plugged in, so I'm kind of making that up right now, but I would plug a flash drive in and I would select the USB. If I don't have one plugged in right now, maybe put it on your desktop and then just post it to your desktop and we can put it onto a flash drive once one's available. And then click post. And you can see that your code has been generated. And then that's it. Good luck.